Hello everyone, this is Alex. It's been, I think, 18 days since my spinal cord injury, and it happened on September 14th, 2021, and right now is, I think, October 2nd. It's been a long journey, and so many things have happened, so many, issues that I have to deal with. And but overall, I think my mental state, except from the first week, have been very calm, stable, and relaxed. It hasn't been too turbulent for me from on the inside, and because I think over a period of time, in just like short several days, I've sort of like has started having more and more grip over my emotions and my thinking. That I've started to develop this sort of like a framework of mind to look at my situation in one particular way, so that it would allow me to have a very peaceful inner being, a very happy, positive, and you know, just generally positive looking at the situation that I am in. And a lot of the doctors and nurses are just really surprised that for someone going through this paralysis is able to have such a positive, happy, and resilient kind of spirit. I didn't really pay much attention to that, but as time goes by, I started to think that, what, like, maybe they're right. I actually am much stronger, not just because, that's how I am, but also because of my particular way of thinking and looking at things. I think it's a combination of those two that really help me to be stable, to be positive, to be sane, to be happy, and to be somewhat exuberant within myself, to deal with my daily chores and my daily the result of my injury, which is just the physical limitations that I have. And it normally takes a lot for someone to digest, but for some reason, somehow, for me, I quickly was able to find a way to deal with it. So I just wanted to share this a little bit with you guys, to just to document what I have right now, and then how I'm doing with this, and then maybe it could help someone, or maybe it's just for me to feel good about myself with, because I'm so fucking proud of how strong and how peaceful I am when even dealing with such a difficult time, and trying to make this into a challenge that I could surpass, than a devastation that I'm not able to overcome. So overall, I think there are two types of sufferings in our human experience. One is the physical kind, which involves ailments, infections, COVID or accidents, and then any sort of gunshot, or like any other car crash. In my case, spinal cord injury, and so those are the physical sufferings that people go through, and that's something you are not able to predict on a daily basis. It's not something that you are able to foretell, and that's just just the mysteries of life that people that we all deal with on a daily basis. That's one aspect. The other aspect of suffering is something that happens within us. So all the stress, all the depression, all the the mental and emotional kind of stresses are all part of the second type of suffering, which is something that happens within us. There are many aspects to this, but basically it's just that we are suffering from the two most important evolutionary gifts that we're given, which are our memories, our extensive memories of the life events and the things that happen to us, and also in combination with our imagination, which is also another great gift of evolution. When those two combine together, it would create many worlds of their own in our own heads. And we keep thinking that the thoughts that we have and the emotions that we have are all real. But in reality, if you look at it, though our world, our bodies, or our wherever have been, have gone through thousands of catastrophes. Our lives in general have all gone through, catastrophes throughout so many times, but so many times we know that they actually didn't happen. We think that they happen. We imagine that they do, but they never do. And then if we are so good at predicting our future from our imagination, from our stress, from our memory, then we wouldn't be here, right? And we would be something different. We would be somewhere different. It would be something else, because if we could predict our future, then obviously we cannot. So our mental thoughts and our emotional feelings, they are not really realistic. They are not really realistic parameters of our reality, but we keep thinking that they are. We keep thinking that things are not going to turn out the way that we want, and life is not happening the way we want, and then we keep thinking, just keep looping into those kind of things, and those are the sort of like the suffering that we create on our own. So with those two kind of sufferings being said, I am going through the physical suffering because of my spinal cord injury. And this is something, I could have controlled it or whatever, but it's an accident. I mean, like, the likelihood of, having this accident is just so insane that it's just an accident. But the second type of suffering, it's something that I can control. We always think that we cannot control what happens inside of us, but we can. We can control that. We should be responsible of what happens within us. What's happening outside of us, we cannot control that. But what happens within us, we should be able to, right? We should, because that's up to us. We can't control the other person, how they're going to hurt us, or how our loved ones is going to betray us. We can't control that. And we are vulnerable to them. That's just how it is. But we should be able to control what happens within. We should at least have a say, right? If you can't even control what happens within you, then what's the point of being a human? Then we're just driven by our tendencies and our instincts and our compulsions. Then we're just an animal. We should be able to control our insides, or at least try to have a say to that. So when this happened to me, I made myself a commitment that I will create the least amount of internal resistance to all of this. That I will not create any further stress. I will not create any further depression. I will not create any further negativities to myself, because I want my inside, which I can control, to be as beautiful, as wonderful, as exuberant and joyful as it can be, because I should be able to control that. So with that commitment I made, I try to recognize and accept all my physical limitations that I'm having right now. The fact that I need people to wipe my ass when I poop. The fact that I need people to put a tube in my penis when I pee are just parts of those limitations that come with my physical injury. And I accept it. Because if I don't, if I fight it, if I feel like embarrassed, if I feel resistant to all those activities, then the only person suffering is going to be me. And I don't want to have any more sufferings than I already have. I don't deserve any further. I can control my inner self, and then I don't have to be driven away by all the potential resistance created by my logical mind and by my emotions. So I accept my physical limitations and the consequences of my injury, and I will try to make my inside as beautiful as it can be, as full of flowers and full of happiness, full of sunshine and space and blue skies and emerald ocean. And then that way I have the best emotional and mental I'm in the best emotional and mental state to be healthy and to heal and to make this journey less resistant, to make this journey beautiful, and also to deal with all the challenges that I'm going to face, a much easier process. So that's sort of like the framework of mind that I'm in. But also I just want to add one more thing. As science is able to prove nowadays, your emotional state has your emotional and mental state has a chemical impact on your body.
Hi, Israel.
Hi.
Is that bad time or?
I'm just like recording something.
Okay.
Sorry. Your emotional and mental state have a impact on the physical body. We think those things are separate, but they are actually all connected. So a good example would be like if someone is stressed, there's a lot of cortisol produced in the blood, raises blood pressure and makes things worse. Those kind of like emotional hormones make your body unhealthy, make it more, you have more blood pressure, make you have more resistant, make your metabolism much slower, make your recovery much slower. And so the kind of a mental state that you're in has a chemical impact on the physical body. So we can totally see that the mental state and the physical state are well connected in their own intricate chemical and physiological ways. So because they're so well connected, whatever negativities or positivities that we experience also have an impact on the physical body. So if we're happy, if we're exuberant, if we're joyful, if we're in a very ecstatic state, then our physical body is also in such a wonderful, joyful state. How can you deny the potential of that kind of state to the impact of our recovery. That is like, I think is much bigger than potentially medicine, because our body is such a sophisticated machinery in this universe. Maybe not in this universe, but at least in our like solar system, right? Our bodies are so complicated and sophisticated, and it's such an intricate chemical factory that all the hormones and chemicals that we are able to produce are still being studied and being understood by science, and it will take a very, very, very long time to actually be able to decode, our chemical factory and how things are made and what things are made out of. So yes, the mental state has a huge impact on the physical body, and if we understand that, then we try to take care of our mental state, then the potential for our healing, for our recovery, are going to be much faster. And so those are kind of things, for people like me should definitely look into. And today I'm just, sharing some like basic framework of thoughts to approach, my recovery. And I didn't think that this was something that I wanted to share, but talking to some friends and even some therapists and nurses, and I think maybe it's worthwhile just sharing that, because I benefit tremendously from this kind of thinking, and I hope that maybe someone else could also benefit too. But obviously, I didn't born with all these ideas and ideologies. These are just all from the grace and wisdom of my guru, Sakuru, and he has helped me, inspired me, and so much that he helped me with this journey to the point that it's just beyond my understanding. So for that, I'm forever grateful, and I just want to share some of the teachings that I observed from him, and I actually get to use it on my own and see how I could adapt and to my situation and make my situation better. But yeah, that's all. Bye bye.